moving on. And the great thing about this job is meeting so many amazing people from so many amazing places with some incredible stories to tell. To present our next award is a very special guest and someone that I had the absolute pleasure of working with during 2017. Someone that has helped me massively with my own leadership journey as I continue to try and help others with theirs. He served in the Royal Marines for many years. His operational experience included tours of Northern Ireland, Northern Iraq and Afghanistan, where he was the Deputy Task Force Commander. Held a number of command and staff appointments dealing with counter-terrorism, nuclear security and targeting. He also worked on policy and strategy in the Ministry of Defence and the Cabinet Office. For the last 4 years of his service, he was head of the MOD's Leadership Centre, which was set up to improve the capacity of senior military officers and civil servants for strategic leadership. He left the Royal Marines in 2016 and received an OBE for his service from Her Majesty the Queen. He now works as an independent defence and security leadership consultant, and I had the absolute pleasure of having some one-to-one work in 2017. I'm delighted that he's joined us this evening to say a few words and to present the awards for Student of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome former Brigadier Ian Huntley.
Thank you very much indeed. It's a huge pleasure to be here this evening, a great honour. But I have to tell you, the presence of a microphone and an audience that probably can't get out to the emergency exits that quickly makes the temptation to start doing some karaoke almost overwhelming. But rest assured, I won't. I first came across the Arts Centre almost exactly a year ago when, as Mark said, I was doing some coaching with him. And I expected it to be inclusive. After all, it's a social enterprise. So I expected it to be a friendly place, really inclusive. But I thought it would be inclusive at a cost. You can't be inclusive and have high quality as well, I didn't think. I bear the scars. I'm traumatised by many, many school nativity plays that my children were in, where despite any lack of talent, despite any kind of rehearsal, every child was encouraged to just turn up and have a go. And I sat through many, many hours. In fact, I dread to think how long I spent at such events. So that's what I thought the Arts Centre would be like. I thought it'd be really friendly, but the sort of place where turning up was enough, where having a go was all that was required of you. My goodness me, how wrong I was. From the moment I walked in the door, it was obvious that this is a place of quite extraordinary people. Somehow, and I don't understand how, it manages to be hugely inclusive. Everyone is welcome, but also exclusive, because only your best effort is good enough. If you're not ready to put in the effort, then don't bother coming. And it's remarkable when you look at the front of house, rear of house, the text, the support. Everything is all about being the very best you can. And it's a remarkable, remarkable place. Now, as Mark kindly mentioned, I spent a lot of my time, virtually all my adult life in the Royal Marines. I became fascinated by leadership. And since I've left, I've been working with the NHS and the police, the nuclear industry and others to try and help improve their leadership. And I have to tell you, they could learn a huge amount from the Arts Centre. A huge amount. Because one of the most effective ways of learning leadership is by strong role models. People you can aspire to. You have good role models, you follow them, you become a good leader. You become a good, worthwhile human being. If you have bad role models, then I'm afraid the opposite is also true. And the fact that the staff here, and all the senior students, the student mentors, they have such brilliant ethics about looking after other people, about respecting others, about giving help to the person who needs it the most, not the one who's the most demanding or the one making the most noise. It's all about thinking of others before yourself. And I have to say, in terms of leadership and indeed of being a worthwhile human being, I can think of nowhere else have I come across such strong ethics and such strong leaders, and you should all be congratulated for that. So congratulations, of course, to all the people who are involved, the students, front of house, etc., those who won awards and prizes and those who didn't. A remarkable achievement. Also, of course, thank you to Mark and his team. One of the things I had to convince Mark about was to spend more time away from the Arts Centre, convince him that there were only 24 hours in a day and he ought to spend more time doing something other than being at the Arts Centre. The fact that his third child was born on Sunday, I think, proves that I succeed at least in that area. But there's one group of unsung heroes that I'd just like to draw your attention to. And that's the families and friends of those who come along to the Arts Centre. Because you're the people who make it all possible by, I'm sure, going through their lives with them, listening to their frustrations, helping them, getting them ready, making sure they turn up on time. So a big thank you to you, the families and friends, and thank you for coming along tonight to support them. It's very much appreciated. 2017 was clearly a remarkable year. 2018 is looking even better with the opening of the Arts Centre in Upcoming coming up. Everyone who comes into contact with the Arts Centre is immediately struck by the quality of the people and the way you all gel together, and it's an incredibly impressive place. In the introduction to the Arts Centre handbook, Mark wrote as follows: "It's not often you get to meet inspirational people, but in this job I get to meet them every day." Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight I'm privileged to share that experience with him in meeting some inspirational people. And I think I'm about to meet two more. Mark.